So Samsung has just spaffed out its shiny new Galaxy S25 series smartphones. And few surprises here, you got your regular Galaxy S25, your S25 Plus, and your S25 Ultra. And your Uncle Spurt has had a good hard fondle with all three of them ahead of that official launch. The regular Samsung Galaxy S25 will cost you from 799 GBPs. If you want to upgrade to that Plus model, that'll be from £999, and then finally, the Ultra will empty your wallet to the tune of 1,249 quid. So you better have fat stacks, as the kids possibly still say. Here's a quick look at the S25 Trio and how they all stack up together ahead of my unboxings and reviews. And a quick tip, this video is best enjoyed if you hold back a shot every time I say AI. Be absolutely mullered in about 10 minutes, probably won't wake up for about 3 days. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, those leaks were right on the money. The Galaxy S25 series will certainly look rather familiar to any Samsung fans out there. They're all a wee bit skinnier now. The S25 and the Plus model are around 7.2, 7.3 mils thick, while the Ultra is a bit more of a chunkster at 8.2 mils. While that Galaxy S25 Ultra is a wee bit lighter now as well at 218 grams. Still got a proper decent heft to it, of course. You'll still know when it's stashed in your pants. You've also got thinner bezels surrounding the Ultra's display, although the screen has expanded into that space, so it's now 6.9 inches. So if you like them big, that's sure to satisfy. The Galaxy S25 Plus is the same size as the previous generation, 6.7 inches. And then if you want to wee in, well, you got the Galaxy S25 at 6.2 inches. And yes, thank the baby Jesus, Samsung has finally rounded off those corners for the Ultra model so it fits in with the others. And it's not quite as horrendous to clutch. And your colour selection will change up slightly depending on whether you go for the S25 and the Plus model or that Ultra. The S25 and S25 Plus come in a choice of navy, icy blue, mint and silver shadow, whereas the Ultra comes in titanium silver blue, titanium white silver, titanium grey or titanium black. And if you can't guess from all that what the Galaxy S25 Ultra is made from, then it's back to school with you. That's right, it's titanium, and apparently the titanium frame on the Ultra is even tougher than previous generations. They managed to pack the molecules in more tightly or some such bollocks. It should prove pleasingly scratch resistant and pretty tough if you drop the bugger as well, whereas on the regular Galaxy S25 and the Plus it is once again Samsung's Armor Aluminium, or aluminum if you're watching from the US. Too many eyes, right? Nobody's got the time for that. The display of the S25 Ultra is protected by Corning's Gorilla Armor 2, which like the original is impressively anti-reflective and apparently even more resistant to damage now. The difference is clear when you compare with the S25 and the S25 Plus, which sport Victus 2 up front instead. Also very tough, but reflects that light a lot more. So yeah, if you live somewhere like California or Barbados or somewhere that has quite a lot of sun, you're probably going to want to upgrade to that Ultra, as you've got those fat stacks. But the actual screen tech itself, very similar on all three smartphones. You've got a Dynamic AMOLED 2X panel, which is pretty much the same as the previous generation. Different size on all three, of course, and the regular S25 has a Full HD Plus resolution, as it is only dinky. Whereas the flippin' massive screen on the Plus and the Ultra models is upgraded to Quad HD+, so those visuals remain just as crispy. Contrast levels are sublime. The visuals are quite punchy by default, but you can fiddle around with that in the display settings if you want to. But certainly all three of them, even the dinky little Galaxy S25, should be absolutely cracking for kicking back with a bit of Netflix or whatever. And in terms of brightness, all three of them peak at around 2600 nits. But of course that Ultra more comfortable for outdoor viewing, etc. thanks to that anti-reflection glass. Now you got some pretty banging stereo speakers on all three. Of course, if you upgrade to the Plus or the Ultra, get slightly more beefy output, bit more bassy. But as with the display, you can fiddle around with the audio output in the sound settings. And yes, hallelujah, all those leaks were on point because the Samsung Galaxy S25 series, all three of them are powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite. There's not an Exynos in sight, not a sniff of it. And in fact, it's the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. It's a special edition version of the 8 Elite that's been overclocked, and apparently Samsung's boffins worked with Qualcomm's boffins on this special new chipset. It won't really dive into any more details apart from the fact that the clock speed has been slightly boosted over the original, but let's face it, the original Snapdragon 8 Elite, an absolute shithouse. Can absolutely blaze through any game on the Google Play Store, including good old Wuthering Waves boosted to the highest graphics settings with a perfectly fluid 60 frames per second bit of gameplay. So you can expect sterling performance from all three of these Galaxy S25 smartphones, and certainly in my limited hands-on time, OneUI 7 ran beautifully smoothly. And you now got 12 gigs of RAM in all three as well, including the base Galaxy S25 that's been upgraded slightly from the previous generation. And if you like to game for hours on end, well, Samsung has apparently enlarged the vapor chamber in all three of these Galaxy S25 blowers. So it's now 15% bigger in the S25 and the S25 Plus, whereas in the S25 Ultra, apparently it's now 40% bigger than the previous generation. I don't know how the bloody hell they managed that. It's some voodoo shit. As for storage, well, the regular S25 base model comes with just 128 gigs of the stuff still, which is rather cack. All three phones offer a 256 or 512 gig option, and the Ultra also comes in a 1TB flavour. And just on the off chance you thought that Samsung might have possibly added microSD memory card expansion to any of these flagships again for the first time in generations, no. And also worth mentioning, all three Galaxy S25 phones have eSIM support, but when it comes to ultra-wideband tech, that's only stuffed inside of the Plus and the Ultra, still missing in action on the regular S25. And bugger all surprises when it comes to the battery tech, it's the same capacity as the previous generation, 4,000 versus 4,900 versus 5,000 mAh. Allegedly, according to Samsung, these S25 phones, when fully charged, can deliver roughly an extra hour of video playback compared with the previous generation, just based on little efficiency tweaks they made in OneUI for version 7 and also with the 8 Elite chipset. Sadly, I couldn't really test this in my hands-on session, so you have to wait for the full reviews to see if that really is the case. And certainly with the regular Galaxy S25, I hope the battery life has improved, because the S24 would just about scrape through a pretty long day. Or more often than not, it was completely drained by the time I was all tucked up with Teddy. And no changes at all when it comes to the battery charging speeds either. It's once again 45 watt super fast charging for the Ultra and Plus models, and 25 watt also super fast charging for the regular S25. So basically, if your phone does cop it, well, plug it in and then maybe bugger off and watch an entire Marvel movie from start to finish, and by the time you come back they might just about be charged. As for the wireless charging, well, again, this peaks at 15 watts like before, but it is now Qi 2 charging, so you do have the magnetic charging support. It's a bit more efficient, so looking forward to testing that out. And of course, all three Galaxy S25 blowers run in the same OneUI 7 software slapped on top of Android 15. And with that comes Sammy's guarantee of 7 years of OS upgrades and 7 years of security patching support as well. So you're good all the way up to Android 22, if my A-level in maths has served me right there. And hey, guess what, kiddies? Samsung really bigged up its fresh new AI features. Apparently that AI is fully integrated now, absolutely balls deep in OneUI 7. And Samsung was very keen to let us all know that our Galaxy S25 smartphone will apparently learn all about us the more we use it, and then basically use that information to fulfill our needs and desires. So hopefully mine will be able to detect when I'm absolutely shitted and then automatically dial me an Uber and get me home via the nearest Morley's. You got all the regular Galaxy AI tools stuffed in there, of course, now expanded and improved, so the likes of translation and transcription can support even more languages now. You can also transcribe recorded calls now. And once again, the Galaxy S25s can summarize any website out there and also read those summaries out loud. Apparently, and somewhat scarily, you'll even be able to ask your Galaxy S25 smartphone to summarize a YouTube video if you can't be asked to watch the entire thing. That's a feature that wasn't quite ready when I was doing my hands-on pre-brief, but it should be ready for when the S25 launches. I'm not really sure if that'll work for one of my videos. The summary is likely to just be a string of expletives and question marks. But of course, please don't ask your S25 to just summarize one of my videos and not actually bother watching it, because your Uncle Spur needs that whiskey money. And you've also got an all-encompassing AI feature called AI Select. So for instance, if you ring a video that you're watching there on your Galaxy S25, it'll offer you the option of creating a meme from that video, which you can then share with friends, do whatever you bloody well like. So yeah, lots of AI, and yeah, I'll go through it all in my full reviews and stuff. And as always, the Galaxy S25 Ultra comes with the added bonus of that S Pen stylus cunningly concealed in a corner orifice. Very handy for anyone who wants to do a bit of sketching, editing documents, signing documents, that sort of shenanigans. It's exactly the same basically as the S24 Ultra, except now it doesn't have Bluetooth support, so you can't wave it about the place to do Harry Potter-esque gestures, which I'm sure a lot of people will be absolutely devastated by. As for the camera tech, well, there's been next to no hardware improvements for the S25 series versus the previous generation. The primary shooter, once again, a 200 meg sensor on the Galaxy S25 Ultra versus a 50 meg shooter on the Plus and regular models. And the S25 Ultra also now boasts a higher megapixel count for the ultra wide angle shooter, which has been upgraded to a 50 meg sensor versus the old 12 meg sensor slapped on the other two. And when it comes to the zoom setup, well, no changes or surprises there. The Galaxy S25 Ultra sticks with its dual lens setup, a 50 meg and a 10 meg sensor, whereas on the S25 and the S25 Plus, they just stick with a single 10 megapixel sensor with that telephoto lens. So as usual, the S25 Ultra boasts the slightly bonkers 100 times space zoom, while the S25 and S25 Plus peak at 30 times zoom. And then around front, as usual, it's your 12 megapixel selfie with a bit of autofocus action. So the Ultra should certainly be more capable when it comes to your ultra wide or your zoom shots, but otherwise all three should perform fairly similarly. The photos spaffed out, obviously running through the same image processing algorithm, so you can expect the usual bright poppy results. All three of these Galaxy S25 phones have also had a bit of a kick up the arse when it comes to the video smarts. Apparently Samsung and Qualcomm's boffins have once again got together, not quite like that, and boosted the low-light video shenanigans, so apparently now you should see crisper, sharper, less blurry results in low-light situations. You've now got the option of recording in log on any of these Galaxy S25 phones as well, and then editing them right there on device. And Samsung has also added an audio eraser feature similar to what you'll find on those Google Pixels, just to help cut down any background bollockry. Make sure that your vocals really come through nice and clear. Of course, you've got the usual AI photo editing smarts on there as well. And apparently the portrait studio options have been expanded if you can't get enough of that. And there's also a fresh new best shot style feature which can capture the best expressions from a motion photo. Basically the bits where you're not blinking, coughing, puking, anything like that. So yes, once again, quite a soft upgrade for the Galaxy S25 series on the whole. So if you've got an S24 blower, not much point in jumping onto the S25 range. And of course, the usual advantages and disadvantages of upgrading to that Ultra model. So it is tougher with a gorgeous anti-reflective display and the upgraded camera tech. But on the flip side, it is also cock-floppingly expensive and bloody massive to boot. But hey, at least it's got those new rounded corners, so it won't give you the same stigmata effect when you're using it one-handed, like the old S24 Ultra. So that in a nutshell, kiddies, is how the S25, the S25 Plus and the S25 Ultra all stack up together. Now I am hoping to fully review all three of these Samsung S25 blowers, because let's face it, there's not been enough new smartphones in January 2025. 3 more, bring them on. So stay tuned for how good they really are when it comes to gaming, the battery life, the camera tech, all that good stuff. And in the meantime, you can pre-order your S25 right now. Check out the link in the video description. Samsung should be offering some kind of special deal right there if you do put your order in early. And please do let us know what you reckon down in the comments below. I already have a vague sort of idea of how that's going to go. But it'd be great to hear your thoughts so far on the S25 range. And if you're tempted by any of them in particular, please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, all the usual YouTube bollocks. And have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone. Love you.